What's going on, family? Welcome back to Inside the Logic, where we don't just talk, we think. We challenge ideas, we question what's accepted as normal, and hopefully, by the end of today's conversation, we leave with more understanding than what we came in with. And for those of you who've been wondering where I've been, well, I've been away for a little while. And not because I ran out of things to say. And those of you that know me would say, that's impossible. But it's because I needed to listen to myself for a change. Life has a funny way of doing that. Sometimes it'll give you exactly what you've been praying for, while forcing you to confront everything you've been trying to ignore. So, over the past several months, I've met an incredible woman, someone I honestly believe is the woman of my dreams. She brought peace into parts of my life I didn't even realize I was searching for. But here's the thing: love has a way of shining a light on parts of yourself you've kept hidden. As I started building something beautiful with her, I also found myself facing old wounds, self doubt, self denial, and emotional scars that go all the way back to my childhood. Things I had thought I buried, things I convinced myself I had gotten over. But the truth is, I didn't. There were days when I felt heavy for no reason I could explain. Days when I wanted to be left alone. Days when I wanted to smile in public but wrestle with my own thoughts and privacy. Looking back, I realized those weren't just bad days. Some of them were depression. And for a long time, I didn't even know how to say that out loud. See, I come from a generation where we were taught to push everything away. Be strong, man up, keep moving. We didn't talk about anxiety. We didn't talk about depression. We didn't even say the word therapy. You were expected to just get over it, whether you healed or not. But now, the world has changed. Mental health is finally a part of the conversation. Therapy isn't whispered about the way it used to be. People are becoming more open about asking for help. But if I'm being honest, for a lot of us, especially black men, that old programming is still there. We still struggle to admit we're hurting. We still believe asking for help somehow makes us less of a man. We carry the weight in silence because that's what we were taught strength looked like. And today, I'm choosing something different. I'm not ashamed to tell you that I have dealt with depression. And every now and then, I still do. That doesn't make me weak, it makes me human. What I've learned is that healing doesn't begin when the pain disappears. It begins the moment you stop pretending it isn't there. And asking for help isn't giving up, it's refusing to let the pain have the final word. So today's episode isn't just another podcast. It's one of the most personal conversations I've ever had. And if you've ever felt like you had to carry everything by yourself, if you ever smile while secretly falling apart, if you ever convince yourself that nobody would understand, then this conversation is for you. And if you're not the one struggling, maybe someone you love is. Maybe this episode will help you recognize the signs Maybe it'll encourage you to check on the friend who's always doing fine. Or maybe it'll simply remind someone that they don't have to fight alone anymore. And I want to thank all of you for being here and for allowing me to be honest. Now, today's topic is the hidden stigma of mental health in the Black community and why are so many of us still struggling to ask for help. So come on, let's talk about it. Now, this isn't about blaming anybody. This isn't about saying one community has it worse than the other. This is about asking a difficult question. Why do so many Black people suffer? Why is it easier to say I'm tired than I'm depressed? Why is it easier to admit you're broke than to admit you're overwhelmed? Why will someone go to the emergency room for a chest pain but ignore panic attack for years? Why do you tell people to stay strong instead of asking if they're okay? See, today we're talking about history, culture, faith, family, masculinity, our Black women carrying impossible expectations, the healthcare systems, and why millions continue to struggle in silence. If today's conversation reaches just one person, it was worth having. So, let's start with the facts. Mental illness doesn't care about race, depression, anxiety, PTSD, bipolar disorder, schizophrenia. See, these conditions affect every community. But here's where things become concerning. Studies consistently show Black Americans are significantly less likely to receive mental health treatment than the white counterparts, despite experiencing many of the same conditions and in some cases greater exposure to chronic stresses such as discrimination, community violence, financial strain, and unequal access to health care. And that's important because untreated mental illness doesn't disappear, it grows. It affects relationships, employment, physical health, parenting, decision making, self esteem. Hey, mental health isn't just about feelings, it's about the quality of life. So, let me ask you this. How many of us grew up hearing these? Oh, just pray about it. Stop crying. Toughen up. What happens in this house stays in this house. Everybody got problems. Psh, you'll be all right. Me, I've heard them all. Now, let's be clear. Prayer can absolutely be a source of strength. Faith helps millions of people, but faith and therapy shouldn't have to compete. If you break your leg, most people pray, and then they go to the hospital. Nobody says, oh, just believe harder. So why is the emotional pain treated differently? See, sometimes because generations before us never had the language for mental health. Hey, they survived slavery, Jim Crow, segregation, economic hardship, violence, systemic discrimination. Hey, their survival strategy became keep it moving, don't complain, handle it, and that mindset helped many families endure unimaginable hardships. But survival isn't always the same as healing. So, let me talk to the brothers. Now, How many times have we heard a real man don't cry? Handle your business. Man up. Right. We're taught strength, responsibility, protection, providing. Nothing wrong with those values, believe me. But somewhere along the way, many men learn something dangerous. Yes, showing emotion equals weakness, which is wrong. So oftentimes, what happens? Stress becomes anger, fear becomes aggression, depression becomes isolation, pain, anxiety becomes alcohol abuse, and sometimes it becomes violent or worse, suicide. See, many men don't know how to ask for help because for a lot of us, nobody ever modeled it. Imagine carrying every problem while convincing everyone you're fine. Hey, that's exhausting because strength isn't pretending nothing hurts. Strength is having the courage to admit when something does. Now, to my sisters, there's a phrase I'm sure you all heard many times. Be a strong black woman. And at first, it sounds empowering, but sometimes it's also a burden. Be strong at work. Be strong at home. Be strong for the children and the family. Be strong for everybody. But who's being strong for you? Who asks, are you okay? Many black women report feeling pressure to care for everyone else before caring for themselves. When they feel selfish, taking some self-time, that's bad. And when burnout becomes normal, when asking for help feels like failure, and stress becomes a constant, hey, strength should never require suffering in silence. Ladies, y'all agree? Okay. Another reason many avoid therapy. Trust, period. Hey, history matters. The black community has experienced real medical mistreatment and discrimination over generations. The history has left understandable skepticism towards healthcare institutions. Even today, many people worry they won't understand me, they'll judge me, they'll misdiagnose me, and my experience with racism won't be taken seriously. See, those concerns aren't imaginary. They've been documented. Representation in mental health professions has also historically been limited, though it is gradually improving. Finding a therapist who understands your lived experience can make a meaningful difference for a lot of people. And let's be honest, people, therapy can be expensive. Insurance isn't always adequate. Appointments may require taking off work, transportation, child care, finding someone accepting new patients. These barriers are real. And when you're deciding between buying groceries, rent, or therapy, the choice isn't always complicated. That's why improving access matters. Mental health care shouldn't be treated like a luxury. Y'all agree? Okay. Now, social media, social media has created another problem because everybody looks happy, everybody's winning, Everybody's traveling, buying houses, getting married, starting businesses. Meanwhile, they're crying before they hit post. Comparison feeds shame. People become afraid to admit they're struggling because everybody else appears to have their life figured out. Yeah, but remember this, people post highlights, not panic attacks, not therapy appointments, not sleepless nights, not medication adjustments, not crying in the car before work. So remember, don't compare your real life to someone else's edited moments. See, healing isn't always dramatic. Sometimes healing looks like sleeping through the night, setting boundaries, apologizing, forgiving yourself, learning emotional vocabulary, breaking family cycles, hey, and going to therapy. You know, healing isn't weakness, healing is work. Now, imagine if we treated emotional pain the same way we treated broken bones. Nobody would hide. Nobody would feel ashamed. Nobody would say mental health deserves that same compassion. If you're struggling, you're not weak. If you're seeing a therapist, you're not broken. If you're taking medication, you're not less than. What you are, you're taking steps towards caring for yourself. And if someone around you finally opens up, don't rush to fix them. Just listen, believe them, support them. Because sometimes healing begins when someone simply says, I hear you. Family, we've inherited the survival dream. Now let's also inherit healing. And I want you to think about something. We spend our entire lives taking care of the body. We go to the doctor when our chest hurts. We wear glasses when our eyesight fades. We put a cast on a broken arm without thinking twice. But when our mind is hurting, we hide it. We call it being tired. We call it stress. We call it just one of those days. Anything except what it really is. So here's the truth. Some of the strongest people you know are carrying battles you'll never see. The loudest laugh in the room might belong to someone who's silently breaking. The person who's always checking on everybody else may be hoping that just one person asks them, how are you doing? Really? See, strength isn't measured by how much pain you can hide. It's measured by how willing you are to heal. And maybe that's the lie we've believed for far too long, that surviving is the same as living. And it isn't. You deserve more than survival. You deserve peace. So tonight, before you go to sleep, don't ask yourself, am I strong enough to keep carrying this? Ask yourself, what would my life look like if I finally put some of this weight down? Because healing doesn't make you weak. It makes you free. Before I end, I want to check on the people who always say they're good. I want you to check on that strong friend. Check on the person who always makes everybody laugh. Check on the one who never asked for help. And don't forget to check on yourself, because healing isn't something to be ashamed of, it's something to be proud of. This is Inside the Logic. And remember to keep questioning, keep growing, and take care of your mind, because the people who love you don't just need you alive, they need the healthiest version of you. Until the next time, peace.